welcome to another lawnfawn video. Today we are introducing our new stamp set, Christmas Dreams, and its coordinating dies, so let's go ahead and check it out. The set has this super cute decorated Christmas tree. It also has a fireplace, and then some things to decorate the fireplace, some cookies for Santa, a clock. It also has this great little bow garland that can go on the mantle, little stockings, of course, and also a little candle that's really cute on the mantle too, and a little candy cane to kind of help set the scene. We have some presents for under the tree, and then we have this great little rug. We have a thought bubble, and then a cat and a dog that can be thinking of their Christmas presents, which we've got the little fish or the bone. Next, we have these solid stamps which you can use to fill in the ornaments on the tree if you want to do them with ink instead of with markers or colored pencils or something like that. We have the Merry Christmas sentiment and then May all your holiday dreams come true. Now I'm using some Copic markers to add some color to these images. And you can see here that I've picked out kind of some evergreen green colors, and I'm creating the tops of the trees here. I'm doing darkest towards the top and then lightest towards the bottom of each of the sections of the tree. And so I really like the light area kind of overlapping of the darkness underneath it, the little shadow of the parts of the tree. So I think it looks really pretty. It's really fun to kind of play with this tree and do different types of greens, so kind of evergreens, but also more towards like neon-y yellowy greens look really, really pretty too, depending on what look you're going for. Now next I'm going to be adding Y32 and Y35 for my star, and those are my favorite colors for stars like this. I just think it looks great. And then I'm going to be playing around with the ornaments or the lights that are on the tree. And so I'm having fun with kind of some traditional kind of Christmas light colors, but you can match these to your pattern paper that you're using, and that's really fun. So it's really fun to change up the colors of these little ornaments or lights. I just think it looks really cool on the tree that way. I always love coloring Christmas bows in red. I just have to color them in red, and so I'm just coloring this one here, nice and easy. And this is really cute on top of the fireplace, but it's really cute kind of like at the top of the card too, to kind of decorate the top. So I think it's just a really fun little accent. And then here I'm going to have fun coloring my stockings and the candy cane, and of course my little plate to Santa there. And I change the color of the plate depending on the whole color scheme of my card when I do this one. And then we'll be coloring in that great clock too. And we had a clock like this just growing up, and it was just that exact brown color with the little yellow face. Now I have a fun little trick for coloring in brick on fireplace, and that's because I don't really have any red brown markers. So I thought, well, what am I going to do? So I'm coloring in brown and then layering it over with red. So you can see I'm doing my darkest marker, then my medium, then I'm blending out into my light, and then I'm taking my red marker and just covering the whole thing. And so the brown kind of shines through the red, giving it this great kind of brick dimension. But you don't have to do much shading with the red because the brown was already shaded underneath it. So you can see I'm just repeating the same thing. I've got that brown and then I'm going over with the red. So I'm going to lay down my light marker, then my medium marker, then my dark marker in all of those areas. Then I'll go back to my medium and then back to my light. And so you can see how great that's looking. I'm just going over it with the red, and I love that it looks kind of like three-dimensional brick. Next, I'll add a little color to the mantle there. And so I'm going to use those same browns that's underneath the reds and the brick so it all kind of coordinates. And I'm just going to keep it lightest towards the center just to give it like a fun little look towards the center. I think it just looks really nice. Next up, I'm going to be coloring the fire, and I love doing this because it's really fun to blend markers that aren't really related. So I'm doing red to orange to yellow, and I think it looks really, really cool. Then around the fire, I'm going to use some warm grays to kind of make it look like the back of the fireplace. And so I think it looks really great, and it kind of frames that fire really well with the darkness around the fire. I'm adding in a little aqua there to my stocking because I'm going to do a little aqua tree later. And I thought it'd be cute to do aqua, red, and white as a theme. And so it looks really pretty with the presents, and later I'm going to add them as the ornaments on the tree too. And so I really love that color combo for Christmas. I think it's really fun. For that little rug there, I'm going to use some warm grays, but the other thing I love doing with this rug is actually paper piecing it with pattern paper. So I stamp it on pattern paper and then die cut it, and that pattern paper is going to look like a pattern rug, which I think is actually really cool. So I'm going to add some red bows there to their little presents, and then next I'm going to be working on coloring them. And I'm coloring the cat like this cat named Daisy that I had growing up, and she had this really beautiful yellowy orange color and these little stripes. So I'm going to give her just kind of that little yellow orange, give her some shading, and then I'm going to give her those little stripes on her head and on her back because that's what Daisy looked like. I love coloring animals to be like one of my pets or one of my friends' pets. So this one I'm coloring like my dog Daphne. She kind of has some areas that are kind of black and then other areas that are gray. So I'm adding in that N6 there to be her black areas that she has, and then blending those out with my gray markers to give her the light areas that she has. And she just looks so cute. These are the coordinating dies, which you can bend apart at the tabs or use your wire snips to separate them. I'm just going to take that die and line it up with my stamped image, hold it in place with some low-tack tape like post-it note tape, and then run it through my die cut machine. And then everything's going to be perfectly cut and perfect for setting these cute little Christmas scenes. So here you can see all of the images in this set and then how you can kind of mix and match everything. So you can add the little presents there to the thought bubble, the presents under the trees, you can decorate the mantle with all of the different pieces, add stockings, just have a ton of fun with it. So this is some nitpicky paper, which I've trimmed down to 4¼ by 5½ and then 1½ by 5½. And I'm also creating a standard size card base too to go along with it. And then I'm going to layer that red piece on there, which is one of my favorite patterns. I think it's so cute. And then layer that green strip right in the middle. Then next up, I'm going to take some more nitpicky paper. This is the white paper, and I'm going to cut it with an outside-in stitched rectangle. And this is going to be the base of my scene. I'm also cutting some knock-on wood paper too, and I'm going to trim that down there. And that's going to be the little floor of my scene. So next, I kind of lined up all of my pieces to see where I needed to stamp my sentiment, and then I used my MISTI to stamp it. You can see how cute there. And then now I can start to layer everything. So I'm adding my floor there to the bottom, and that white knit paper is kind of serving as my wallpaper. Then I'm going to layer that fireplace kind of in the center there, nice and flat against the card, and then everything else is going to go up on pop dots. That way it gives the scene a little bit of dimension. So it looks like the tree is in front of the fireplace. And then I'll add my little Daphne on there, and then she's going to be dreaming of her cute little present, which just cracks me up every time. Then next I'm going to add some foam tape to the back of my whole scene and then layer this right on top. And I think it's such a cute card. It's really fun to practice your coloring and then kind of create a nice and simple card like this. Now next up, I wanted to use some of my Perfectly Plaid Christmas that came out last year. I still have some of it and I just think it's just so cute, so I thought it would be fun to use it. So I created a 4x size card, which is 4 7/8 by 3½, and I'm attaching this piece to my card base with some removable adhesive. So I'm going to add that to the card base, but just temporarily. Then next, I'm going to take out my wonderful window die, and I've already cut one out of white cardstock, but then I'm going to take the die and then line it up there in the center top of my card, hold it in place with some tape, and I'm going to run it through the die cut machine with the card completely open so that it only cuts through the front layer of the card. So now we've cut through both the white card base and the pattern paper. So next I'm going to peel off that pattern paper and start working with that piece first. And so on the back I'm going to add some Scor-tape all around that window opening, and I'm going to add a piece of acetate to that, and that's going to be kind of the plastic or the glass of my window. So I'm going to add that little acetate piece there and let that adhesive just kind of pick it up on the back part of that pattern paper. Then I'm going to add some more tape to the back of my window because I want to make sure it's nice and secure on the front of the card. So I'm going to add some tape all around the edges of that window, and then I can take the window and line it up over that plastic. And now looks like we have the glass behind the window. Then I can put some actual adhesive on the back of that pattern paper and layer it onto my card base that also has the window opening cut. And so now we're going to be able to look through to the inside of the card, which is really neat. So then now it's time to start layering everything behind the window. And I'm going to use tape runner on everything because I don't want there to be any dimension on the inside of the card. I want the window to be nice and flat into kind of seeing into the inside of the card. So you'll see there I'm kind of closing part of the card until I like the placement of my fireplace, and then from there I can place everything else. So I'm going to add my little stockings to the fireplace. I kind of feel like I'm decorating for Christmas already, but in stamp form. And then I can add that Christmas tree kind of layered on top. I'm going to add the cookies for Santa to the top of the fireplace, and then I'm going to stamp my sentiment on the inside in some lobster ink, and that's going to be kind of the nice surprise on the inside of the card. When someone opens it, they're going to have their sentiment. And then I'm going to take that cute little rug there and layer it behind the presents next to the tree, and you can see that fun kind of turquoise, aqua, and green theme we have going, and then add my cute little cat onto that rug. Then next we need to finish up the front. So I'm going to stamp the Bannertastic banner here in some merman ink, and then I'm going to stamp the sentiment in some lobster ink, and then die cut it with the die, and then I'm going to add some foam tape to the back and add that to the front of the card to finish it off. And then here you can see how cute it is. From the outside, you have this adorable little scene kind of into someone's home of their whole Christmas decorations. And then when you open it, it reveals the cuteness of the little cat sleeping there. And then the May Your Holiday Dreams Come True part of it also, which is just so fun. I love being able to use a die like Wonderful Window, which I had really only ever thought of for kind of spring cards before, but now use it for a Christmas card, which is really fun. Then next up we have some cards from the design team, and this scene that Shari created is so cute. I love all the nitpicky paper on it. Then this scene by Yanea is gorgeous. I love her coloring, and that plaid paper in the background of the wallpaper is just adorable. This scene by Elise is so sweet. I love the colors that she used and how she used that outside in stitch circle. I love this card by Audrey. I love those browns and the way she inked the top of the paper. It just feels so cozy. I love that Letitia just used the Christmas tree in traditional red and green colors. I just think this is such a cute card with that blending in the corner. And then Lizzie's card is so sweet. She colored the cat just like her cat, which I think is adorable. Then this card by Nicole is so cool. I love how the sentiment's kind of on some clear plastic in front of the whole scene. It's really neat. And then this card by Melissa shows that this is a perfect match for Shut the Front Door. So you can see how cute it is when you open the door and you look inside to the scene, which I think just makes me smile. And then this card by Elena is just stunning. I love how she used the outside in stitch circle to highlight the fireplace. It's just beautiful. So I cannot wait to see your Christmas Dreams cards, so make sure to share them with us. Thank you so much for watching and have an absolutely amazing day. Bye!